welcome!
Oh, and we're back. And
we're back.
Oh my, you know, wait. Now this is my episode, guys. My episode, okay? This is my episode.
It's the Misha show.
It's about watches. No, it's not my episode, but it's about watches.
Okay, so this is Misha.
Hi, I'm Misha.
And I am Nez.
Very nice to
and
meet
we
you.
are Luxury
Unedited.
Unedited.
And
And this is...
Léa Sfeir.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
She's been a great friend of mine for a very long time.
Yes,
And we've only
obviously.
just met, but
Yeah.
I think she's going to prefer me to Misha.
Yeah, only because of the Philip before. That's the only thing we're talking about here. I'm so excited to get started. We're so thrilled to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So
because we know.
before we kick off, could you tell us perhaps a little bit about you and your dad and the company and whatever you feel is
Relevant.
appropriate
And how much you love me.
and inappropriate
course.
also works.
Well, I mean, I come from a family that's been into the watch industry and the jewels for almost 40 years. And it's, I mean, my dad started it.
So I read somewhere that your dad started in jewelry first and then
Correct.
got into watches.
Yes, jewelry and especially vintage jewelry, everything.
Nice.
I can also attest, I have seen some of the vintage craft pieces. I was in Beirut maybe 10 years ago.
Yes, 10 years ago.
And
yeah.
I had a little play.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we had fun.
Yeah.
Like museum pieces.
Yeah, museum
and
pieces.
We tried it on. We
Yeah.
messed it up a bit,
Yes.
but it was fun.
There was
It was
Cartier.
But
there
actually,
was
when I
Graf.
was telling, because I'm a novice in this world, I mean, I love watches. I get geeky about like the mechanics and all of that and craftsmanship.
Which is
but-
the total opposite of me. 'cause
But
I get
in
geeky about
terms
looks.
of like collectors, that I don't know who's who. You know, it's not really my thing. But when I told a few people that you were coming on, they got super excited.
Okay.
And they were like, "We are going to watch this episode," and it was all guys, by the
Hope
way.
we won't disappoint.
But
anyone.
but I think what's important to let people know is actually a bit more about your dad started off here,
Yes,
right?
correct. Dubai, the late 70s, gold souk. So, like, I mean, the conditions were different than now. And,
Yeah, very humble beginnings, right?
Very humble beginnings. Like, I went and I checked it up, and I almost cried, to be honest. Underground, working with gold, and apparently they used to see a lot of hit gems. I mean, coming from palaces, coming from, unique pieces tailor-made for people. And because of the lack of resources, they used to melt watches, imagine.
Oh my God.
To get the gold out of it.
Imagine
Yes.
the
Wow.
type of
So they
watches
needed the
they
money.
melted.
Yeah, and he regrets it. I mean, now that, later on when they knew the value of these watches and then later educated themselves about it, they're like, what did we do?
But
Yeah.
I think your father had a lot of influence in them educating themselves about the watches.
Oh, definitely.
Because
Lots of books, lots of interesting people he met along the way that are not alive anymore. But I remember seeing him every night reading books. And basically he educated himself because he didn't have the knowledge about horlogerie or anything. He couldn't travel to Switzerland when he was young to get an education, a proper education about watches and the word of horlogerie.
yeah, he's self-taught.
But yeah, definitely.
Which I
And
love
Yeah.
that
And also
because
through
a
him,
lo-
so
the
many
struggle
learned
was real.
so
I mean,
much.
when I went there and I saw how they used to work, and I mean, Dubai now is completely different than Dubai in the 70s. So basically, I mean, for them it was paving the way, and whatever they used to see, you don't see them anymore. I used to see like beautiful gems, emeralds.
I mean, that's an amazing story because I think it's important to know, because for many people listening, it's really another world and it's very unattainable. But to know that your family has been through that journey is amazing.
Yes, from
But,
scratch.
It's amazing because I've bought watches because I like watches, but the name that has consistently always been there, somebody as like the collector that changed things, has been Claude Sfeir, our father.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So should we just like set the stage really
So you have
about
big shoes to
Big
work in.
True. I've been
But you
told.
love it. You love it.
Yeah, I do. I mean, yeah.
I mean, Léa's just come back from Watches and Wonders as well, where she did the buying, because you also own the FP Jean boutique
Yes,
in
in
Lebanon.
Beirut. Yes, where the
Beirut,
retailers of
and you've
Jean
opened up here, have you?
No, here
No.
it's
No.
yes,
It's
our
someone
friends,
else,
the
yes,
Sadiqis.
yeah.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. So,
So I just wanted to maybe set the stage a little bit about where the market is in terms of the watch market. And I was looking at a report that was done with Morgan Stanley and Lux
Yes.
Consults. And it was looking at the outlook of 2023 and beyond. And the key takeaways were, well, for a start, AP is now surpassing 2 billion
In sales.
in sales, and their jump from 2019 to now is almost like double.
But in terms of market share,
Yeah, it's Rolex
It's
all the way.
Rolex is king.
I was so surprised. The Rolex I understand, but I was so surprised that Omega was second.
Yes, Omega is a big revival now.
A big revival, and it's very popular with men.
Because of the James Bond thing, do you think?
James Bond is it just Omega, James Bond?
I think
I don't know why I'm
yeah.
asking
Yeah,
you.
yeah, I
Is it
think
like-
so. It's more like the brands Aston Martin, Omega, they represent like,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Dashing 007.
related.
Well, I don't know about
more-
that.
Yeah.
But I do.
But yeah, Rolex was 29%, followed up by, actually number 2 it says Cartier.
No, number 2 is 7.9 is 7.9% is Omega, 7.7% is Cartier.
Well, in this
She knows her
report
number.
it says Cartier.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The other report was actually slightly different that I
Yeah.
sent you. So number 2 is Cartier at 7.7. Omega is also 7.7. AP was 4.7. And then it was Patek Philippe.
Patek Philippe.
Patek, sorry,
Cartier,
darling. Patek.
Cartier, you mean watches, not
Cartier
jewelry. I'm
Yeah.
surprised.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually,
I mean,
no,
not so
because
surprised,
I'm
but-
also surprised because women love the aesthetic of them. I love the aesthetic of them.
My first watch was a tank, like
Yeah.
tank française. Yes.
Tank française.
Yeah.
That's not the military.
Tank.
Tank.
No. But let me tell you, because when you love one of their watches, like I have at least 6 tanks
Yeah.
because I love them.
But you
Yeah.
wear them in a fun way.
And, yeah.
For other people, it might be very sober. They want something
Yeah.
like the aesthetics. It's
Yeah.
classic and sober.
But I
Yeah.
think we have to talk about Rolex. I think we can't not discuss Rolex
It's
in this as
it's
to
huge.
why
Yeah.
it's such a.
And it was interesting in terms of Swiss watch exports per market. So the top was USA, which we see across all the luxury industries. That's always going to be the biggest. China, Hong Kong, Japan, and UK.
Yeah.
Now, is that any surprise to you?
No,
No, not really.
Not really.
No,
to be
no.
honest. It's the same in all luxury. Like we found out, even with bags, it was the same, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
we discussed that. But why is Rolex the king? I tell you, for me, I know why. No matter where you are in the world, okay, if you're stuck in the outbacks of somewhere or you're stuck in the Amazon jungle and you are lost and you need help and someone comes along, you don't have any money to help you. If you're wearing a Rolex, it's currency.
Yeah.
If you
Right.
tell them, I have I'm not going to name another brand because it may be thinking, they will say, huh? What?
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter if that watch is one of 50 and
Or
costing.
it's super expensive.
It's
It's
true
expensive.
because back in the day,
Rolex
Rolex was
is
the
currency.
first watch I really understood and got to know, and that was from my uncle because I think Rolex is very traditionally gifted, aren't
Yes,
they, in
some
terms
parts
of
of
like key moments in people's lives,
Yeah,
no?
it's like a tradition. For
Yeah.
example, in Italy or for even us in Lebanon,
Yeah.
some families would gift it for first communion or for weddings
Yeah.
or for like engagements. So it's part of, I mean, it's a status.
Yeah.
And it's like you're giving out something precious and
Yeah.
it will hold its value for a while and you know you can pass it on.
But actually, it's different when you talk
Different.
about status. Like now, I mean, back then when I think about my uncle and some of the other people that I know that collected watches, they would get excited about probably the design and the aesthetic
Yes.
and all of that. Now I think it's got to a point where it is a status symbol where everyone knows about all the trends and the different watches, which makes me realise that, I mean, before, you know, we're talking
but
about...
before a Rolex was always a status symbol.
Yeah, but in a
that's what
different...
that's where I
but-
come from. It
Yeah.
was
I
always
mean,
It's a
like
Rolex was
status,
the
but
number
not
one.
in the sense that people maybe knew the value and knew that they could, in terms of currency.
No, I think always
More precious.
Rolex,
It
no,
was like
Rolex
a
has
item.
always been able to be used as a currency. You know, I buy a Rolex because it will hold its value. I can sell it, always
Also
from 40 years ago, right? It's always.
I
had
think
that.
in certain circles, right?
No, in every
Because
circle.
I think now, I'm thinking about how the world has changed and how people see watches, and, you know, I don't want to touch on the negative
No,
side of
no.
things
No,
so
no.
much. But when now you'll get someone in the street knowing exactly, like
What
they
you're
will
wearing.
target you for your watch and they'll know exactly the
Yeah,
price
that's
and stuff
social
like
media.
that.
That's social media.
Yes.
And one of the questions
Sadly.
we were asked is that, you know, in certain countries in the world, you cannot sadly go out wearing
Exactly.
these watches.
Mhm.
if
Not
you wanna-
anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore.
But
You
But-
can't enjoy it anymore. You have to hide it. You have to, like, I don't know. It's becoming dangerous. I mean, I wouldn't risk my
life.
for
For
a
that.
watch.
But how did
As
you
much
get?
as I love watches.
How did you get into watches? I mean,
mean-
it's not necessarily just because you were born into the family. What was it that? What was your passion? What was the driving force that you were like, actually, this is what I want to do?
I mean, it was definitely the family business, but at the same time, I mean, I used to go to our shop and then to our offices. I would like, of course, first because I was younger, I wouldn't know much about movements, although my dad tried to explain several times. He would put us down and explain to us and all tear a watch apart and then tell us to assemble it. I mean,
Oh, wow.
me and my brother always failed doing it, but he was better than me. He was more handy. Then obviously it was the aesthetics, the look, and I would always get watches as gifts.
But also you love it, Léa. I know how you talk about it.
I start loving
Yeah.
it, but at the beginning it was just, another watch, another year. But I was so ungrateful at one point. And then growing up, I was like, wow, I do have very nice watches, and they all mean something. They're all related to something historical, or like, for example, the explorer that went to the Everest.
Yeah.
And I got it once, and it was broken. I was like, why is he gifting me a broken watch?
But those are the watches that I love, actually, the
Yeah.
ones that have a bit of a
And they're rough,
story
and they're
that-
raw,
behind.
and they're not
Yeah.
polished.
And
you
the
know?
ones when they go to auction go for 17 million.
Yeah, I also love
yeah,
those.
that's- yes. I mean, we all like those.
But I'm more into like everything that's not too polished, not too shiny, raw material, steel for sure. But before I was like, I want more color, more fun.
Yeah.
Now I'm more into sober watches. We're going to talk about it later. More independent, not known
Understated,
watches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any difference, or do you see any trends recently happening in the last
Yes,
like?
I feel like apart from the trendy watches, should we name a few?
Yes,
Like
definitely.
Richard Mille, for example.
Richard Mille, yeah,
That's a fantastic marketing strategy.
Yeah.
And that really is.
Yeah,
I
for
know how
example-
you've spoken about Richard Mille. but-
It's not a watch that fits my aesthetic. I take my hat off to them for what they've done,
Yeah.
and they've done some great things. And actually, the newer pieces.
Yeah,
there's
I'm
a
liking
couple
the
new.
newer
I
pieces,
like
the
the newer
ladies' new
pieces.
pieces.
The
I
ladies'
love
actually
to-
pieces are nice.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Even the one they launched a few years ago at Watches and Wonders, the candy watches. Like you
Yeah.
had a twisted marshmallow.
Yeah.
And,
Ooh.
I mean,
Sounds
I'd rather
tasty.
those
Anything to
than
do
the
with
diamond
food.
ones.
Yeah, no, yes.
But still,
it- you have to have that aesthetic, or you are wearing a Richard Mille purely for status.
Yeah, I used to wear it, for sports, because it's like very
Yeah.
light. And back then not no one knew, but Richard Mille wasn't a very wanted watch 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But now with the revival, and thanks to the GCC countries and their love for the aesthetic of this watch, this brand is booming. The prices
Yeah.
are booming. You go
prices
to
are crazy.
to a Richard Mille shop,
There's
you can't
nothing
get
there.
any
You
watch.
can't get anything.
And then if you want to get any watch, you have to save up for a very long time, because the retail prices have
Skyrocketed.
increased. Skyrocketed.
And it's so you talked about what's the biggest differences you think within the regions, or in terms of collecting?
The
It's a
trends,
global.
the trends. I
But
would,
not everybody lasts as a trend.
exactly.
So we can name another brand that had a huge trend
Yeah.
at the same time as sort of Richard Mille.
And the
was
same
Frank Muller.
aesthetics,
Remember?
yeah, same
Oh, yeah,
aesthetics.
yeah,
Frank Muller was like,
Yes.
ooh, and everybody wanted. And I bought 4, I think.
Yeah, I used to
crazy
like the
colour-
crazy
oh,
colors
crazy
and
colours
everything. Exactly.
But
We
now
all
where are they?
went through this. But
Where are they?
where are they now? Exactly. And
Where
it's
are they?
Well, maybe you should revive those. No.
No,
No.
maybe not.
No.
Sorry, I apologize.
No. But yeah, the trends. Obviously, it's very personal, and whatever you like, it's very subjective. I wouldn't. Advise people because people come not to me but to our offices. They're like, what should I buy? What's a good watch to wear now? How does it make me look? What will I look if I'm wearing this watch? Or what? Yeah, it's a status.
Yeah,
So you see,
the questions I get is, what should I buy?
You always
What
get
is-
that.
yeah,
So
I
is
get- I
it
get
passion
that.
or investment?
No,
So they're buying
always,
for.
what should I buy, and what will what will hold its value more, and what will
Yeah.
be worth more? It's got
Yeah.
nothing to do with anything. And my
Yeah.
answer is always the same: you have to buy what you love,
Yes.
because it has to
Yeah.
be on your wrist. You have to
Yes.
love it.
Yeah.
You know.
And so that's also something I was reading in terms of the auction houses. I read somewhere that it's more important, you should never polish a watch.
Never. I wouldn't. I mean,
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
But you see, I mean,
It will lose its value.
it will
anyways.
lose its value.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, in terms of, you know, people always say, because I hear that quite often, you have to wear your watch. I mean, some people,
Yes,
I was
definitely.
reading somewhere, they call them dailies, where they have certain watches that they
Yeah.
wear all the time, whatever the
Look,
value.
let's be honest, not everybody can have, I don't know, 50
Yeah.
watches, 100 watches, 20
Yeah,
watches.
yeah.
Some people have a daily watch and they have a night watch.
Yeah.
You know, and now, okay, the trend is to have a few more watches, but some people just have a day watch that they
Yeah.
wear every day.
And it
what's
depends
wrong
where
with
you
that?
are,
It
Yeah.
and where
depends
you
where
live, and
are.
what you
Yeah.
do, and how easy it is to pull up, for example, a diamond watch at work,
Yeah.
or let's
Yeah,
say
yeah.
a more elegant watch somewhere where it depends of your surroundings, your lifestyle. It has
Do you-
everything to do, but good for someone who can be able to sport I don't know a nice watch that he would consider very precious and wear it and use it
Yes.
Yeah.
and make enjoy it actually.
You have to enjoy what
Yeah.
you
Do you remember, I have a very clear recollection of my mum and my aunts, my grandmother having an evening, like a
Yes.
delicate, beautiful evening
With a satin
watch.
strap or I
Yes.
love
Yeah,
I
or
have,
the
I
little
have, I have a
diamonds
diamond
or-
benoir
Yes.
with satin strap that I
Yeah, I love
absolutely
these.
love.
Do you
I love
remember? It's a little bit sad that we've lost that tradition in
I
a
still
sense.
wear like some.
I
of
mean,
them. Yeah.
sometimes I find myself, mainly because I forget everything I do and where I am and whatever.
Same.
So I just go to evening events in my
In your
Apple Watch.
Oh.
And
Oh,
people
yes.
are like, my
Yes.
husband,
We're gonna have to disagree.
People-
yeah,
People,
my
please
husband, that's
don't
mainly
do that.
because I forget.
Please
My
don't do
husband's like, do you have to go out like that? It's like,
We're gonna have to disagree on
Yeah.
that.
So I have a friend that decides to put her Fitbit on as well as her nice watch, just so that she can measure the steps. I'm like, please.
See,
I
this
need
is
to
a matter
take
of lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah. But I wouldn't. I
No, I
don't.
wouldn't. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, but also you have to love them. You have to wear them. You have to enjoy them. If you've paid good money for them.
Yes, and if you're happy with your Apple
Live
Watch,
it.
be it. But
Yes.
like, I can't, because I don't own one.
what an Apple I do. You know why I
So-
own an Apple Watch? So I know where I've left my phone.
I tell you.
It's got this special thing that you press and your phone goes ding, and
Find
then
my phone.
I either hear my son or my husband, yes, your phone is here.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now I know. But now listen, there are some beauties on the table.
There are some beauties.
yeah.
There are some beauties on the
Definitely.
table.
So, but I did also want to ask, this is something that you guys were talking about, is it ever enough?
Watches, are they ever enough? No.
No.
No. But I tell you what, for me, I don't know about you, Léa, what's becoming enough is that every year these great watch houses are just bringing out the same watch with different colour faces, different
Different
colour
dials,
different, you know, nothing's changed. Whereas before you would get really excited, okay?
Yeah.
But now, nothing's really changed, nothing's innovative.
I
It's
find that
she's-
even in
she's
terms of fashion, right? It's
true.
like, you know, now we're like in
really
the world.
evolving.
Yeah, it's not really evolving. It's not really, you don't look at a piece and it takes your breath away. It's, you look at a piece and it's a hoodie that costs like, I know we've mentioned this before, but you know, I will go on about it. Like, it's changed so much.
But then look, you had exactly the same. Let's talk about the Nautilus, for instance, right?
Yeah.
It's discontinued in Salmon Steel, and then
And resurfaced,
and then resurfaced all of a sudden again, and then you have a different color face. Let's put a Tiffany collaboration face in it,
Yeah.
and then somebody wants
Controversial.
to pay $6
Yeah,
million.
what do you
Oh,
guys
that's
think
bad.
about those collaborations?
I mean, they're great for people who are able to acquire it at retail price.
It's the
but-
club.
Yeah.
And that was actually something that has got worse and worse, like through something I actually probably really noticed through COVID is the price. It's like it's gone bipolar.
But it's
almost.
adjusting now.
It's adjusting.
It's adjusting.
Definitely.
Because there's
Because
also the
cryptos.
retailer price
There was a
and
peak,
then
and then there was a
reseller price. I almost feel like the resellers have everything and the retailers have nothing.
I mean,
It's a matter of greed.
It's
Also.
a greed.
It's a greed
It's-
problem.
What do you
Ego,
mean by
greed.
that?
I mean,
So
you
Greed
have the
in
item.
terms of who?
You want, I mean, in terms of the people who acquire the watch,
Right.
and then they can just name any price. I mean, if you go on websites and if you check the market, because, I mean, definitely not the real. I mean, this is how people know now. They go on websites and they just see, you can list the same watch. For example, I'll take this Casio. I can list it for $10. The other guy who has it, or lady, would,
$1,000.
yes, 1,000. And then another one sees it. It's like 10,000 because you can't get it, you know. And the inflation happens, and then there's a peak, and the prices are.
But then
Who's
it crashes.
watching that?
There's-
Who's making sure that that doesn't
Nobody.
happen?
There
Who's
is no-
balancing?
It's an ego problem, and a greed problem, and
Yeah.
I want more
Yeah.
problem, I believe, in this society. I want it all. And the other people who don't have it, but have, let's say, money,
Yeah.
or even would take a loan to get it for a higher and even higher price, and then it becomes ridiculous.
Becomes
I mean,
ridiculous.
and it's
So
not-
it,
and
it
it
becomes
actually-
less about the love.
Yeah,
of
it's not
it.
about the
Oh,
love.
it's
It's
not
not
about
about
love.
because if you love
It's not
something,
about the
you
love.
can look at it and appreciate it.
Yeah.
But when you want to have it at any price, this
Yeah.
is not love. This is just a matter of saying, oh, I have it, I own it, it's in my collection now. But when you talk about prices, and even if you ask them, what do you like about this watch? Oh, because it will give you 10,000 times
Yeah.
more. You know,
Which is what I was like
It's not
talking about,
about-
is
yeah.
before, back in the day when I was talking to my uncle or other friends that collect. It's a different type of
I tell you what
environment
the
than it
problem
was
is.
back then.
I tell you what the problem
Tell
is
us
in
what
this
the
as well.
problem
No, I tell you,
is.
for
Yeah, you would
me,
know. Yeah.
no, I know. First of all, I called out somebody on Instagram because his favorite post is, you know why there's a shortage in the market? Because, and he's a reseller and he has 15 Nautiluses on thingy. No, that's not the problem. The problem is the people that have access to these watches, because they are watch collectors, they're all thinking, you know what? I'm buying anyway what I want, which is the true love that they want, which is maybe the World Timer or a Tourbillon. I'll take these as well, and I'm going to flip them. And no one is going to say no to them. Or someone that knows somebody
But
who's...
most of these people
yeah.
are blacklisted now
Yes.
by companies.
Oh, they are
And
blacklisted.
I like
I'm
this.
pleased to
Yes.
hear that.
I like this.
Well, of course, we
Yes.
all know about Greg, right? Greg
No.
Powell.
Oh, no.
Of
Tell us about
course.
Greg.
Because I know other people.
Don't you remember when the first, what was it, the first Patek
Oh, yeah,
green?
yeah. Yes,
in the-
yeah, for sure. The
for
Chinese
sure, the
person.
Chinese gentleman who bought
Yeah.
it from the store in Canada, and immediately, so
Sold
the
it in
salesperson
Monaco.
gave it to him. I think they must have had some
Some
kind
sort
of deal
of
together.
Yeah, agreement. He said
And-
it was his mom's gift.
Yes, and they put it up for auction, and he
Monaco,
got how much?
550 or 500, not
He
sure.
got $550,000 for a watch that he paid $35,000 for,
Maximum.
something maximum.
I'll come to that
Okay.
later because there was
And
one of the
then-
comments from the audience.
But the silly thing is, when they put it out on auction,
The
his
warranty.
name, the warranty
Yeah,
showed
it
the
was-
name, and he was blacklisted. The sales assistant was fired because
I
there was
know.
something, or there was an investigation. So now there is. So be careful.
Some
Don't
sort
buy a
of-
watch and flip
yeah.
it, because you will get blacklisted.
Yeah,
which
but
is
they're
rightfully
ruining
so.
the experience for other people who actually love this watch, love the aesthetic, and would like to have it at normal retail price.
Yes.
Those people don't want to sell it; they want to wear it, enjoy it, and they don't want to pay $500,000 to be able
course.
to wear a nice watch. You know,
Okay, so I want to buy my first watch. What is the advice that you guys would give me? I mean, aside from go for what you love, like in terms of if I was a guy or a woman, give me the two options. I mean, I know you're very particular in terms of the fit as well and the size. And is there anything?
I'll let Léa go first.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you
depending
my
on
opinion.
how's your lifestyle, what you like to wear. Do you like?
She's an Apple Watch girl. and- yeah.
I'm incredibly athletic.
She's the lady who lunches, not.
Yes.
Yeah, go on.
Would you
I'm
like
incredibly-
to have a trendy watch, or would you like to go?
I tell you what, I like discretion. So I don't like anything.
So-
I always laugh that I look
Well, that's
slightly dishevelled
Hold
in
on.
very expensive clothes.
You just said you like discretion. The watch I was going to say for her, off the list.
I would say go towards
one?
independent watchmakers, like for example, I mean, F. Pigeon for sure.
Yeah.
But you know, also you have different like categories, and they were all underrated. And this market of independent people were struggling for years, and now finally they're getting back, and they're like it's booming, the independent market. I would say, for example, definitely F. Pigeon, and you have different. I mean, depending on what you like. Do you like stones? Do you like a strap? Do you like a bracelet? Do you like the aesthetics? Do you like a chronograph?
So those are all the things that I'll need to think about
Yes.
before I go.
But
if it was
definitely
me,
a
I
fun
would have.
afternoon.
My first is. I think every woman needs a Daytona.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay,
do.
It's a fantastic watch.
Put your name on that waiting list.
Are you listening?
Yes, Omar.
Birthday
And their
coming up.
Birthday coming up, Daytona. So I think for me,
It's a classic.
I have to stay true to myself. So a Daytona is probably one of my favorite watches ever. It just takes you everywhere. But now that you say you want something understated, you could go besides an FP Journe or a,
For example,
or you love the Philippe Dufour, don't you?
Philip Dufour. This is before I knew your dad's connection to him. It's actually one of my favorite watches. I love the fact that he's only like made, I don't know, 6 in the last God knows how many.
I mean, the production is pretty
intense, right?
Yes, because everything is in-house.
Everything from the clasp to
everything.
the thing,
Yes.
everything is
So
in-house. I'm all about storytelling.
Yes.
So whether it be a Daytona, if it was a Daytona, it'd have to have a story around it.
You could get a vintage one.
Vintage
Yes.
one, I think.
Even
yeah.
better.
I would, better.
Even better.
Even
Yeah.
better. I'd get a vintage one.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, the steel Daytona. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
a
for me.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, but
And for guys, what do you think's a good like starter watch?
I'll say a Rolex too.
Yeah.
Daytona works for both. to be honest.
Works for both.
Or
Or I would probably go.
And
I
I would say Air King. It's more attainable.
An
like you
Air
can-
King
yes.
is
What's an Air King?
It's a Rolex.
Oh.
It's a. I mean, you can go to the boutique and
Yeah.
buy an Air King. Yes.
But
And it's all under $10,000 if we want to talk about attainable.
but I still really like. I mean, what I love on a man as well is a big Aquanaut. You know?
Oh, yeah,
I think
definitely.
it's a very easy, sporty watch that they can wear. But these are what you call cliche watches. But
Yeah.
I don't want to change who I am, and I've been buying these before anyone even
Before
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a trend.
before it was a trend, right?
Yes.
So I've had Daytonas since day one. So I don't want to change who I am
Yeah.
because the market is now deciding to catch up and say no, these are the watches to have.
Yes.
I mean, look now. Can we just talk about this? This is the new
Yes,
the
it's a
lefty.
GMT
That this is.
patent.
I mean,
Ah,
I have
it's a
one of
lefty.
these, but Léa brought this as
My
well. She
husband
bought
always
some
watches
last-
it.
yeah.
Wears
Yes.
his watch on his
Yeah.
So
right
this
wrist.
one is made
This is a left-handed.
Ah.
for the right wrist.
I think he was interested in this for a while.
Yeah, but then again,
I
when
like the Jubilee bracelet, so they're bringing
Yeah,
it back like an old
That's
aesthetic.
really pretty.
Yeah.
You know, when I bought mine in London, she said to me, please don't keep it in the box. She said, please don't wear it. And she
Oh.
said,
Please don't wear
she
it.
said,
Don't
don't
wear
wear it. And she said, not now, in London, she
Oh.
said.
Oh.
She
Oh,
said,
yeah, yeah.
She
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
She
It makes
said,
sense.
and please
Be careful.
carry the watch completely separately to
The box
to
and
wear the box and
Yeah,
the thing. So
definitely.
she made me keep the watch. She made me
But
keep
why
the
is
box
that?
inside.
I don't
Because
understand.
people were actually, this was so wanted at the time. There were people waiting and watching outside Rolex boutiques and just snatching.
Oof.
And
Yeah.
so it's very dangerous.
So
Sadly.
we mentioned vintage before. What kind of appreciation in the market is there for
Oh.
vintage watches?
Some of them gone crazy.
Yeah,
Like look at the
super
Cartier
crazy.
crash.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
I
now you can't even get
You
a
can't
Cartier
even.
crash.
You can't
Yeah.
get it. But at the time you were thinking, oh, what the
Who
heck
would
is-
who would buy a
yeah,
Cartier crash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now
it's impossible.
Because I'm slightly confused now between the reseller market and the
and the
vintage market and the retail price and the
pre-loved.
Yeah.
pre-loved and the
So you can get a lot of beautiful pre-loved watches, okay, especially Cartier models that are stunning. But if it's something that the internet has picked up on or something that's done very well at auction, forget it.
Forget it. Especially the Rolexes,
Yeah.
the Pateks. I mean, or you need to be like really careful what you're buying. Go inspect the watch first, because even in big auction houses, you always have mistakes. You always have. I mean, so you have to go inspect the watch, make sure you like it on your wrist. Just
Get it
go through get it
Checked.
checked. Go through the
Check.
history of it, the provenance for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
Where
Provenance is very
yeah,
important.
provenance is very
It's
important.
like art. Provenance is everything. If they can't prove provenance,
Then it's
don't buy a
controversial
watch.
for me.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for me.
Yeah, for me.
So sorry, you just
Yeah.
touched on auction houses. Are they taking away the business from retailers? Are
No,
people
not at all.
individually going to?
No, I feel like
auction
it's
houses?
a team. They
Ah.
all work towards the same. I mean, they team up together, perhaps with I don't know some.
What
To achieve,
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
say, if
No.
one of their key
I wouldn't say
I
that,
don't.
but
I don't know if you agree with me, Léa, but I feel that everybody's working just to buoy the price up, to keep it up, to keep that market liquid, and to, you know, it's a false ceiling at the moment, right? For me, it's a false ceiling anyway. You want it to naturally
I feel
plateau,
like
which
now
is
it's
doing.
naturally
It's
adjusting
naturally
now.
adjusting now
Yes.
because crypto, NFT, everything crashed. So you had all these very young people with huge amounts
Gen
of money
Z.
that did very well. Yeah, Gen Z that did very well. They bought art, but what they really wanted was watches. So they were throwing.
because you want to wear something, you want to show that you.
Yeah.
It's I mean, we go back to
Status.
status.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean for sure. I get people who would want to be discreet. A lot of our friends, for example, would have the nicest collection, beautiful watches, but you would never know.
Yeah.
They hide it. They wear it, but they wear it for these
For
people.
themselves.
I believe that they wear it for themselves.
Yeah.
But even I, because I'm a bit not shallow, but I would like to show off what I.
There's nothing
not
wrong
show,
with being shallow,
but
is there?
not show it off. I mean,
Aye.
but like, I mean, I've earned it. I would like to
Yeah, you
wear it
worked
beautifully.
hard for it.
Like,
Yes.
yeah.
The thing is, my aesthetic is nice, bright, shiny things. I like pretty watches, not because
But you keep it elegant.
They,
I mean, you're not just
vulgar about it,
Yeah,
or,
exactly.
or whatever. But
What's your favourite special edition?
Misha, go first.
I think I really think it would have. I mean, it's not really a special edition,
skeleton.
but I love my
It is
skeleton.
special.
Yeah,
It is
I love
special.
special.
No, it is special.
It's
We're going to have to take a closer
been
look at it.
discontinued. and it is
it's been
special, for
discontinued,
sure.
and I
Why
love
did
it.
they discontinue it?
I think it's. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, is this craftsmanship still there?
It's a beautiful watch.
It's a beautiful watch. I mean, if you look at it from all sides, it's still a beautiful watch. I mean, for me, I love open dials.
Wow.
I love
Yeah.
looking at the movements, the
I
mechanism.
don't think
the-
we'll take some shots of that.
yeah, I think we need
later.
close-up shots from
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's a beauty.
Yeah.
It's
That
a
is a
beauty.
beauty.
And then if
Yeah.
I wanted something more simple, it's the other watch that I brought, which is the Carousel.
Yeah,
which
let's
is
take a
also
look at some of the watches.
a gorgeous watch that you don't see very often.
This is super rare.
It's not super
apparently.
rare. It's not super
Oh.
rare, but it's
it's difficult to find it now,
Yes,
then
it's,
again.
it's not a common watch. It's not just because of the dial.
Definitely not common.
And when it used to
Yes.
be available in boutiques, nobody
Yes.
wanted it because
Yes.
either it was a bit more expensive than what they thought it would be,
Nice.
but then it's I mean,
But I like
It's a beauty.
I love it.
I like
It's a
that it's
beauty
got the
of
day,
jade,
so you
yeah.
remember what day it is.
Yeah, but
That's
I
You
mean,
don't need your
don't
Apple Watch.
You don't need your Apple Watch anymore. So yeah, I mean, we'll take some close-ups of these after. So these, but Léa.
But Léa, what did you
brought-
bring us?
oh yeah, no, but I'll tell you first. Like my
Yeah.
favorite special edition was our boutique opening of Pigeon. We did the Biblos.
Yeah.
It was an
Ooh.
open dial of Pigeon, chronometer blue, basic model, but it was open dial. And we named it Byblos after the oldest city, which is in Lebanon. And it was a tribute to Lebanon.
Oh.
And it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful watch. And it was so loved. And it was sold out the day of the opening.
Wow.
And even later on, it was auctioned for charity here in Dubai, one pieces for Rashid Foundation. And it got 10 times the price. And it was beautiful because we were able to give back in a way.
Yes, definitely.
And it was still new. And now, I mean,
that's
whoever
just-
has this watch, other than the actual, value, the meaningful value for Lebanese people at least, and other people who love Lebanon, it's a
Very
gorgeous
special.
watch. It's very
Yeah.
special. Aesthetically, also, you can see everything. It's an open dial, and the colors are, just beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Sounds good.
Whoever
Yeah.
wants to.
I mean,
look at
the great thing is about the watch industry as well as crazy, and there's a lot of giving back in it.
For sure.
There's a lot of
I mean,
stuff. There's a
definitely.
lot of watches
Definitely,
that are
yeah.
auctioned and
and we're
charity
able to give
benefits,
back
and we're able to give
through
back.
something we love.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not always gala dinners and dressing up and stuff. Sometimes it's actually, you're buying something you like, and at the same time you're giving back to the
community.
To the community, for
So
sure.
now Léa's bought
Hold on.
three very
I thought
different
you'd
things.
stolen.
Yeah,
I
was
thought you'd
about to
stolen that one.
Listen, before she leaves, that's gone.
This is a tourbillon
Yes.
made by FP Journe. The color is
It's one of
pretty
one,
unique.
right?
Yes, it's one of one.
It's one of one.
Wow.
Yes, it's beautiful.
It's stunning. It is an absolute stunning watch.
Yes, and you can see the buckle here. They don't
Yes.
do these anymore.
the-
It's by Roland Iten.
Yes.
So it's a mechanism where you can adjust the sizing,
from here,
without
yes.
even having to remove unbuckle it. I mean,
Fantastic.
And you were
yes.
telling me that the designer.
yeah, the designer collaborated with FP Journe for these buckles, but he's known for his different, mechanism. Like, for example, I think he did something called the Berluti tie. It's a way to tie your shoes, and he did some belts worn by a lot of celebrities. We did a collaboration with him once on a belt, but genius. I mean, I love what he does. And here you have my latest watch, the Rainbow Daytona.
Mabruk.
And
Mabruk.
thank
Good,
you.
good
This
luck
is
with
gold.
keeping that in your pocket.
Good luck. Good luck with
And
living
then
with this.
how
This
we
is
say.
the new beautiful. And you know,
I've
I
had the
preferred
others.
it. Yeah, you've got the rose and the
Yes,
yellow.
but this one, it's different for me because the sapphires, the colors, they strike.
They look
for
beautiful.
Me, they look
actually,
beautiful
on
a
the
white
white
gold.
Yeah.
Yes. The other ones were a bit crowded with
Yes.
like
I'm
because I have
surprised
the one
she's
with
let
a
you
full
touch it.
diamond set, but it's beautiful. And especially that we're privileged to live in the UAE. This watch can be worn every day.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I think
not to sound pretentious or anything,
No.
but
No,
I can
no.
just
Yeah,
wear
yeah,
it
of
anywhere.
course. It's-
no, and
it's a
I don't
safety
normally like showing
But please
things.
try it
but,
on, you will
but
see,
this
like,
is,
you will feel like-
Can
it's
I just
different.
tell you my story, which I'm kicking
Sorry.
myself over? About
Yeah.
15 years ago, we were
Tell
in
us.
Rolex, and my husband said, just get that
Quite
one.
quite big.
And I said to him, oh, gosh, I couldn't wear anything so colourful like that.
Ah.
Now,
Ooh.
No, honestly, it feels different. For me,
Yeah.
it will sound silly and shallow, but it's like doing your hair. You feel instantly better.
picture.
Wearing this watch makes me feel better.
we're not doing pictures and selfies, and okay, never mind. But it is,
Yeah,
it
I
is
just,
a beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beauty.
I may never come across something as beautiful again in my life.
Darling, but you
Definitely
see me
would.
regularly, so it's fine.
But I think this is a good. Oh no, sorry, we've got one more, and then
We've
we'll go
got
into
one
our
more.
top
That's
five.
a fun watch.
Five. Wait,
This is
this
for me.
is-
This is honestly, this is one of the cutest watches.
I
I've
love
seen.
that you brought
It's
this.
it's the recent collaboration with Hodinkee, G-Shock, and John Mayer. And
John Mayer,
yeah.
one of the biggest.
Yes.
Him and Mark Wahlberg,
True.
really big watch collection.
John Mayer,
John Mayer,
the singer.
actually.
the
Yeah.
singer.
And he used to be on the Grand Prix d'Horlogerie jewelry for
Yeah.
maybe one edition.
I
remember
just know
meeting
him for inappropriate comments all the time.
Oh, but he's not. But let me just tell you,
But this is a fun watch. to
It's
be
a very
honest.
fun
But he has a very beautiful collection, and he's actually.
also he's quite smart. He's the one that. Remember the green face, yellow gold.
There was
Daytona?
a controversial part like one
Yeah.
time with his collection and
Yeah.
everything, but that's not.
Yeah, you don't need to talk about. But with the green face Daytona, he called it before anyone else did. The watch was already in
Of
my
course,
collection.
darling.
The watch was already in my. He said this one is going to be great, and now this year they discontinued it,
Yeah.
so the price has just shot up again.
Yeah, some of these celebrities, they actually they have very good taste, and they're used their fame to.
They study, yeah.
They're not just wearing anything.
I mean,
Yeah.
actually, you could see it with that Tiffany collaboration Patek.
Yeah,
I mean,
also
it went
that.
to Leo DiCaprio, Mark Wahlberg, I think John Mayer.
It must have
Jay-Z,
gone directly to all of
yeah,
them,
of
yeah?
course,
Not to
LeBron
us,
James, not to us.
Not to us though.
Not to us.
Definitely not to
And
me.
I'm definitely not paying $6 million for a watch like that.
Right, should we go into our... Wait for this!
Oh God, no!
Wait
What
for
have you
this.
got? What have you got? What have you got?
I found the cupboard!
Yay! Top five.
Top
Okay.
five!
Can somebody please?
Top five!
start?
Woo!
What's happening?
Let's go.
Exactly what's
happening.
So, just to give you some context for we ask our followers, and Misha also asks her Watch Fashionista
Yes.
peeps, comments and questions that
Oh my
they
God,
might
there's
have
so
for
many.
us.
Yes.
Yeah, there was so many, but we picked our
filtered
top
it.
We pick our
five.
top five. So I've picked five this time because there were so many,
And I picked her because there was literally pages and pages and
Yeah.
pages of comments
really
and
good questions, but really good questions as well. So, it was difficult.
I've got two kind of my first two. Should we do mine and then yours?
we
or
do
you want
yours.
to do?
No, you do yours
Right.
first.
So the first one, and this is obviously someone that was listening to our very first podcast
I did.
because they write. You did?
It was so much fun. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Just like the Hermes discussion, luxury watches refusing to sell to people and giving so much power to the store associates on deciding who can get access has really cheapened the experience. And it's true that scarcity makes collectors feel special, but why be in the business if you have to play this game? And then they go on to tell a story of a blogger friend of theirs who was given access to a watch because the sales associate follows him. and they wanted to impress him. They wanted to impress him, so they sold him the watch.
Oh no.
And then guess what he did?
Don't tell me he sold it.
Of course.
He sold it. He sold it.
That's classic.
Okay, and I
Sad.
hope, but I hope that sales assistant got in a lot of trouble.
I've no
because
idea.
of that. And I do, because that's just, you don't give it just to a blogger. I mean, sorry,
Yeah.
for what reason?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's sad.
That's
Honestly,
sad,
I have
yeah.
no. I mean, there's no point of talking about it because it's a situation. So it's the same for the bags, same for some like limited pieces, limited collections, and it's always this
always who you know.
this wave of
Yeah.
social media. I mean, it helped a lot of businesses, but at the same time, they use the word cheapened it.
Yes.
And sometimes if I see, I mean, not to sound arrogant or anything, but if I see a nice piece that a lot of people actually genuinely wanted, and I see it on someone just because they became famous somehow, and I don't want it anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
It goes same for a bag. It goes the same for a nice collaboration with some designer on any item, even it's a product.
For
like
me, it happened really badly. Like, I'm sorry, but with Dior, they used a couple
Oh,
of
I knew you were
influencers.
going to
No, I'm
mention that, the
sorry.
saddlebag.
I could
Yeah.
not touch it. And they used a couple of people in the region. Then
They used tons of people all
and
at
I
once
was like-
across the globe.
I was like-
Tons.
I was like, you couldn't get me. Even if you gave me that bag, I wouldn't carry it out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the experience for people who were not always buying or having, but always appreciating and following a certain brand, or since day one, or since they could, or since they can start affording it or saved up for it, like what's the point if someone can just easily get it now and not deserving it,
And what I don't like is that really, if you're young and you really want this watch and you're starting out, and
Yeah.
what you can afford is a steel Rolex, and you're not able to
Yes.
get it because
But-
you don't have a
Yeah.
relationship.
But I
yet.
would say, even if it's the
Go
6th
put your
year
name
waiting,
down.
put your name,
Put your name
wait
down.
for it,
Wait for
put
it,
your
and
name
it
in
will come.
different places,
And
Just
go in.
wait for it, definitely wait
and
for
I
it.
I say this all the time to everyone: go in, establish a relationship
Yes.
with a sales assistant, and just let them know that you really want this
Baby
watch.
steps.
That this is not going to be resold immediately.
That's if they let
At
you
FP
through
Jour.
behind the rope.
They do.
No, they would. But
They
for
will.
example, at FP Jour, a lot of people wanted the chronometer blue, which is the starting model, and it's beautiful.
It's
But
beautiful.
retailers barely get one
Yeah.
or two a year because it's very difficult to acquire this blue enamel. Is very hard to make, like this blue dial.
Yes.
So you understand that they're not just
Yeah.
being, I mean, they clearly don't. They need to upper the production or to make
No,
more
but
of
I
them.
think it's
but
good that they
but
don't.
no. But it's not that we don't want to give you watches.
No.
It's
That I
because it's very
understand.
rare
That
to
I
make this
understand.
watch. It's
That
very
I
difficult to
understand,
make.
but
I
when
understand.
they're telling you to buy like 3 other
Oh no,
watches
that doesn't
before,
happen with this brand, for example. I can talk
Yeah.
about it because we're in business with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But definitely it's a brand that's, they take their time, they produce beautiful pieces, and it's not mass production.
But
and
I
it's
think
still
that's worth the wait.
classical. That's
Yeah.
worth the wait. That's what I
Yeah.
say. And a lot of my friends would be like, put me on the list. Definitely, I would.
Yes.
It's not
Leah,
a
I'm
joke.
telling you here. Can you put me on the
Yeah,
list?
definitely.
Put me on
Right.
5 lists.
You're already on the list.
Yes,
No, but what I'm saying is that some brands are actually genuine, and they treat and they respect their client. They sometimes ask, for example, I heard a story about in Miami or in LA, they asked people to write an essay. Why would they want their watch? It's silly, but for them, they cared about why do people want to wear their watch. I mean, you can go spend your money at any other brand, but why do you want our brand? Then again, it's a status, it's an appreciation for the aesthetic, the mechanism, everything. It's a story that you're going to wear on your wrist.
Yeah.
And when you wear FP Jour, I feel like for me, because, this brand used to be underrated, and now
It's everywhere.
No,
But it's getting the recognition it deserves.
yeah, definitely,
For sure.
definitely.
It's a beautiful.
And they're not fooling you. You wait, you get your watch, you wear it. It's a beautiful watch, sober,
Yeah.
not pretentious,
Yeah.
and
And regardless of where the price
And the value
rises and falls, it
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter
No,
actually
it
because
doesn't
it's a
matter.
beautiful
Let's
watch.
not
It's
talk
beautiful
about
about
price.
craft,
Yeah.
craftsmanship.
I'm waiting
beautiful
for my
watch.
5. Give us your
Two.
You don't have one. You don't have one. Have that on the
No.
Take it away from
No,
me. That's it.
I'm keeping it. I just want you all to see that it's lost its ear.
oh my god.
I'm going to get a bell for the next one.
Yes.
Seems to have the same nuts rules as handbags. Why do you have to buy 5 watches to get the one you want? I don't even want one, and this still outrages me.
But it depends. I mean,
Yeah, it
where are they
depends.
asking you to buy 5 watches?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
But actually, a lot of
but maybe those are not retailers.
they are retailers, some of them, but now that's been banned here.
That's been
But
banned.
I
here.
know that in certain places, even in England, they say, well, maybe you want to buy this, or maybe you'll buy this.
But sometimes when you're starting, I wouldn't mind buying other things than the one that's
The-
unattainable.
As long
Just
as you
to
love
start,
it.
But,
as
but
long
for,
as you love
but
it,
for
for sure.
example,
You have to
this,
love it.
Someone was telling me the story. He went into your favourite brand, and he wanted a bag. He was told he wasn't even allowed to put his name on the list or get the bag, even though they had one. Before he had to then go and buy several
Create
other.
a profile, kind of.
Yeah,
thing.
he had to go and buy a
But
jumper, trousers.
But was it,
and-
hold on, was it a very famous bag? Was it like a very wanted
No.
one? No. So that's wrong.
That's
that for
rude.
me is wrong. That's just rude.
That's just
okay?
rude.
If the bag is there, it's available to buy, you can't force people. As long as it's not, it's not the Hermes and Birkin and Kelly.
And Kelly, yeah.
That's it. You should be able to buy it. I mean, that's wrong. And that's rude.
But what
And
I tell
hopefully
my
that'll-
friends now, not that I'm an expert or anything in handbags
you
or fashion, but I would say, go buy things you like. Start a relationship
Yeah.
with the shop. Buy a nice sweater.
Because
Buy-
let's be honest, why are you going into Rolex and buying that left-handed model immediately? There's got to be
'Cause I'm
something that you like.
left-handed.
Yeah, okay, that's it. But
They don't care.
but they don't care. But there's
That's
gotta
my
be,
story.
find something. Please find something that you love and buy it.
Yes,
Start a
regardless of
relationship.
this is
Yeah.
the original
Yeah.
pieces you went to get, because and the waiting list and the wish list, please be on it, just put your name on it.
Please don't do that again, Nez. Please don't do that.
Number 3. Even if you love a watch, at what point is the pleasure of buying
Are you having
taken
problems
away
reading?
by the overexposure? I want to buy a first good watch, and the Cartier Panther is super cute, but I'm now trying to look at a tank rather, or something small size but different than what we see everywhere on Instagram. It's not an existential dilemma, but it's overexposure killing the beauty and desire to purchase.
Look, first of all, the Panther is not that. I mean, it's just it's a classic watch. I don't call a Panther overexposed or anything at all. It's Cartier's most classic
been
watch.
there for a
been there
long time.
forever. Nothing's changed about that. You want a tank, you get a tank. You buy something that you love. Don't
Exactly, something you would wear.
crowd out
At
the
least.
noise.
Yeah.
Just block out all the noise. Don't look at social media. Go into the store. They always have watches nowadays to try on.
True.
They just say display models only. Try them on, try them on, try them on. One of them, I guarantee, will talk to you. End of story.
Yeah, it depends how it feels. Like when you wore the Rainbow Daytona, you want the Rainbow Daytona.
Yeah, I do want to.
You don't want your Apple Watch anymore. She still wants her Apple Watch. She still wants the Apple Watch.
I still watch it.
Yeah.
I still wear my Apple Watch because I still need to know where my phone is.
Yeah, you can wear that on the other hand. Next.
Next, I'm still going to
Oh,
do it. Next, number 4. When will buying a watch become a love act again instead of a beggar's struggle?
What do you think?
I mean,
For me, it's always a love thing anyway.
exactly.
I don't care.
It was never about. But honestly,
But also, you're in a different position. We
No,
have to address that.
but
There's-
still-
Yeah, but it's a difference between you guys like walking into a store or having then someone like me walking into the store. They won't take
honestly,
me
not
as seriously.
anymore.
Not
No,
anymore,
I've been
yeah.
rejected in some stores. I wasn't, for
Good.
example, in Geneva, I wasn't able to try on a watch.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like a disaster, but
Yeah.
but I wasn't even able to wear it.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
to try it
that's
out.
Oh, just even
that's
to try
way
it
too
out?
To try it out, yes, to try it out.
Oh, wow.
Why?
Yes.
That's just
Rude
see, that- it's just
salesperson,
rude.
and
Rude.
because obviously I went in and I was like, oh hi, how are you? Obviously I didn't say who,
Yeah,
who
you
I
didn't,
was,
yeah.
but still that I work
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
industry
yeah.
or anything
Yeah.
like that. And it was Rolex Geneva, and the lady told me, oh no, you can't even try it. You can just see it.
Oh, you see.
But
so
this is
it's
what,
like
back
cast
to that
iron.
first
Yeah, yeah.
point
This is-
about...
yeah,
about
exactly. So
Now,
it's not like I'm
salespeople-
different or anything, but if you don't, and and she was rude. She was just rude. She didn't even tell me, you can try it on, feel it, experience it. I mean, if someone comes to my shop, to my boutique, or to whoever, they can try, they can have a nice coffee, have a good discussion.
Don't kill people's joy.
It's an experience. Even if you're not going to go and pay money, you should provide the client or the watch lover with an experience, with some nice stories, with some nice books, for example, a good chocolate.
I also tell you what I've done, for instance. You know, I own a store in Oman, right? So people, and I sell jewelry as well and different things. But sometimes I don't have stock of that. But if I'm wearing it, I'll take it off.
Check it out.
Wear it. I let them try it on, see how the bracelet feels, how the necklace feels, whatever. Because it helps them, and that's why.
And you're building a relationship. It's a nice community to have. I mean, our clients in Beirut are not always clients who are coming to pay money and buy something. They just come to see, for example, my father, my uncle, my brother, sit down with us, have a nice coffee. Apparently our coffee is good and our chocolates are
I'm coming over, chocolate and coffee, I'm sold.
And like, it's true, sometimes we don't have what they want, but we guarantee them that they will get it one day, very soon. And it's not like, 6-7 years. No, we're just being realistic. So you have to offer an experience. Then again, you're not just there to sell.
I really, this thing with sales assistants really bothers me, because you do get rotten apples everywhere that think that they forget that they
Come on, guys. I think it's in terms of ownership of the brand. They need to train that. They need to train
luxury.
Actually, the managers need to face. They need to teach these people better. At the end of the day, sweetheart, you work there.
I mean, I'm
a client.
I started cleaning windows at Patek Philippe and making coffee, and it humbled me a lot. And I saw how people in luxury deal with other people. You invite people to sit over as little as a glass of water and a coffee, and you just talk to them, explain to them why they can't have this watch now. And then if you have it in stock or whatever, or even if it's reserved for someone, people should be able to try it, to feel it, to see how it looks on them. And even if they can't afford it right now, even if it's a project to buy it in a few years and save up for it, don't ruin the experience for people. Don't make it seem like it's unattainable or it's just reserved for people who have lots of money and they're willing to pay 10 times the price just to cause an inflation and ruin the experience. I lived it, and she didn't even, and it was one of the experiences. It happened with handbags, it happened with clothes, it happened so many times, but still, I would never say, why you I'll just leave, I'll walk out of the shop, and sometimes I'll kind of start hating the brand a bit, but then again, it's just a person. She doesn't represent the brand, or he doesn't represent the brand.
But actually they do, and they should be held.
They are the brand's ambassadors, though.
Sadly, technically they are, but this human doesn't reflect the values and the morals of, for example, some brands. She's just being rude, and maybe she had a bad day. Rude. But if you have a bad day, just don't take it out on people. And,
So,
is that yours?
No, I've got one more, but please, it's my last one. Please.
No. People don't know it's ringing in our ears.
God, you are so selfish.
I already have it in
It's not quite the same as... Okay, my last question.
Have you noticed my watch has changed?
And this is someone asking for help. He would love to know your take on vintage Cartier for men in a world full of AP and Rolex. Nice question.
Listen, Cartier Privé collection for men are amongst some of the most beautiful watches.
She's right. Yeah, but I do love the crash for men with a nice old strap. But it's becoming
it's impossible. It's now practically impossible.
Yeah, but
there are some privé, there are some tortoise in the privé collection. Stunning pieces.
And it's different,
Different. And very understated. But those who know. And that's what I like about them.
Yes.
Those who know.
I mean, I don't know. That's why I'm going to go look up everything.
Can we do my top 5? I love, by the way, Watch Fashionista followers, you are the best. You are the best. I love you. 3 watches every watch collection should have, in your opinion.
In my opinion, definitely a Rolex.
Anyone in particular?
A Daytona, perhaps. Yeah, I mean, or Rainbow.
Yeah,
of course.
Are you watch the Rainbow?
I would say an FP Jour. These are my personal choices.
Of course, yeah.
And I mean, if it's limited to 3, it's going to be either a Patek or a Philippe Dufour. Let's be realistic. A Patek, perhaps.
I mean, not everyone can reach it.
Exactly. We know.
So my top 3. would definitely. I'm not giving you a top 3.
Look, I'm having a top 3.
Why are you
thank
having a top 3? Okay, go on.
Why
Apple
not?
Watch.
Why
Apple Watch is not on
watch brand, not
yes, watch brand,
not electronics.
Yeah, not electronics. Yes.
Bleep.
Yeah.
Bleep. No, but if I was gonna, my dream is Philippe. Actually,
Yes.
Philippe Default. That would be my dream watch, and I would actually have.
Christopher Claret or something.
I would actually have no other watch if I wasn't allowed to. I would just have that. But my other 2 were the Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like, because, you know, I'm all about fairy tales and storytelling or whatever. I'd like a Paul Newman.
Beautiful.
Of
Yeah.
course. Of course.
I mean, if we're limited to 3, but then
Yeah.
yeah.
But
And,
it's a difficult, to limit. Go on, and your third?
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Patek
to be
Philippe.
honest.
Yeah, of course.
I love
Either the Grandmaster or the Aquanaut, actually.
in Patek Philippe, weirdly enough, I wouldn't even choose a grand complication. I would choose the enamels.
Yes.
Like every year, I get one. And
get one,
I choose a dial that I love.
Yeah.
It's either marquetry or enameling, and it's beautiful, and it tells a story, and it's a piece of art.
Yeah.
You wear it on your hand.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be an Aquanaut. It doesn't have to be a Nautilus.
She loves a different aesthetic. Me, I want to watch that sort of matches my lifestyle. So my top 3 would always be a Daytona because I think it's the greatest day watch for any woman.
True.
I would always pick a Royal Oak because AP for me is that, and it
I
would
like
be
the
yellow
vintage
gold.
ones more.
But I also I love a yellow gold one because they don't make them anymore, especially with the diamond.
That's why
around
she
it.
I have a
Yeah.
one from the 80s.
Yes,
Like a
and
Royal Oak
then,
with some diamonds. Beautiful.
And then I think for my third watch would probably be something like I don't know.
It's
love.
difficult to limit yourself to
3, but mine would be a vintage Cartier. You know, one of the really old ones with the pearl straps.
Beautiful.
The old, really old. Yeah.
Right, next question.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Okay. Why the need for uniformization? Tiffany collab over creativity, passion, and customer care. So why is it that every brand, this is what I took them, why is it that every brand is now trying to do these collabs, trying to make,
More money.
this hype, more money
Yeah.
about it? I mean, really, if we're honest.
Well, particularly because in the
Yeah.
industry at the moment, there's so much hype. It's not like it needs more
it doesn't
hype,
need-
right?
Yeah.
For me, I didn't like the colour of for some reason, there was something about it. No, that's different. I didn't like the colour of the face on the Nautilus, but I haven't seen it in real life
Of the
yet.
Tiffany.
I've seen it.
Yeah, well, how was it? Was Adi? Yeah.
I'd rather the green one.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
example.
Yeah. So for me, it didn't do anything. And then, for instance, so you've got this Tiffany collab with the watch,
And then you have
and then
shoes.
you have shoes,
Yeah.
and then you have the T-shirt with the Supreme. I mean, when will it
Yeah.
stop?
Where are we going? Where are we heading to?
Where we're going is this brand of pushing it towards an LV brand, but it's everywhere.
I
and
think
every-
they need to
yes.
take it all back
Back.
so we can start
Yeah,
appreciating
I don't like the
things.
supermarket,
Yeah.
even in art, for example.
Oh, absolutely.
In paintings and artists, and I mean, I'd appreciate a new artist, but it doesn't have to be like branding all over
Yeah,
and
yeah,
trends and
I will always choose, especially clothes, something that's
sober.
sober.
Sober, of
Al-
course,
always.
never,
no
never.
brands that I
No,
hate.
Yeah.
no logos.
It can be subtle.
anywhere.
It can be a logo, but it
Yeah.
can be really subtle.
Subtle.
It doesn't have to
To be like the Gucci ones that
Yeah.
I always put. But the other thing is, some of us, like for brands, we love the fashion more than we love the bags. You know what I remember? We discussed this
Exactly.
before, and we love the simple pieces rather than the really big pieces.
That's how it's crafted.
That's how it's
no?
crafted.
Yeah.
Right.
What
For
number
those-
is this?
Number 4.
ring.
See, I can't tell what number it is
doesn't
because she's
matter,
making no.
Because I don't want to make it up. For the 5th one, I'll make lots of noise. Okay. For those not living in the Middle East, where it's safe, has wearing a luxury watch become obsolete? Nice question. What do you think?
I mean, it's a risk. It's a life
Do you
risk.
wear a watch anywhere other than here? Like when you go to...
Not even in Geneva anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
not.
saying
It's not
something.
because people mention London a lot, but actually,
Yeah.
it's every
Paris is-
city.
No,
Paris,
terrible.
it's
Barcelona,
Paris, Amsterdam,
Madrid.
Barcelona, Madrid, everywhere. So
Everywhere,
Europe, but
everywhere.
even LA, the States,
Yes.
where you were always safe to wear it, definitely not safe. So I would say, please be very careful
Definitely.
when you're outside of the Middle East, or you're not. I mean, in Singapore, I know you can wear wherever. whatever you want and stuff. But please be very, very careful.
Actually, the sales of smartwatches are like
Yes.
this, if you look at the trajectory.
But I've seen, people wearing fake watches to vacation, thinking that...
I wouldn't...
And they got harassed and beaten up for a fake, for example, Richard Mille in Cannes this summer. And it was weird because are you willing to risk your life to
What's
pretend
the point?
that you're wearing... it's
understand
absurd.
that.
Like, I wouldn't get it. Like...
Can we at least high five the
Okay,
final
high
one?
five, high
High
five. Okay, girls. Are you ready? What is the best starter watch for a woman that does not want to buy a Rolex? Me, I would go with Cartier because
I like Cartier,
I'm all about
yeah.
pretty.
I would go with a Journe Élégante.
Yeah, I like those as well.
Oh, I like how
Very
she said
easy.
that. Can you just say that again, please?
Journe Élégante.
Jaune elegance.
It's few grams. It winds itself when you
Yes.
don't wear it, so you don't have to go to your significant other or friend or colleague to
Yeah.
say, wind my watch.
Yeah.
Even if you let it for 2 weeks, it will adjust itself to the time when you wear it. It's beautiful. It has a light. It glows in the dark.
Sounds like an
And
Apple
some
watch.
of them come with some of them would come with a few diamonds if you want to bling it up.
Yes.
And you can have the regular model
Yeah.
without it. Yeah.
Good choice.
Okay, good
Yeah.
choice.
That,
Nice.
easy to wear.
Yeah.
Comfort, perhaps.
And what would be your final say about like watch
Watches,
collecting, about your piece of advice that...
No, I would just say, as
Misha can
always-
keep my rainbow.
Misha would always say, like, definitely buy what you like. Once you buy it, wear it, use it, enjoy it. Be careful for sure wherever you are, where you wear it, and then don't despair if you don't get it right away. Be on the wait list. And just don't take rejection as from salespeople. Go to another store, write an email to the company, because sometimes business owners or they wouldn't know what's happening with their retailers or with their other boutiques and stuff. So don't despair. Be on the wait list. Wait for your watch. Enjoy it. If you can't afford it right now, save up for it and make it a fun experience. And go where you feel comfortable. Don't go there because it's a trend or because it's going to vanish, because every trend will vanish. It's a bubble, like everything else. And just enjoy. Just say,
I think you've put it perfectly.
Perfect.
I think you've put
Thank
it perfect.
you so
Thank you so
much for
Leah.
this
Thank you,
Watchisode,
Leah.
and we'd love you
Thank you
back
so much.
again.
Thank you for my gift. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, and over and out from us.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, guys.